Robert's conception.
Okay.
Baby at first.
Because it's called French Horn Rebellion, and he's a French horn player.
Yeah.
He's a player in
I was a French horn player, but now...
He was a French horn player.
No longer.
For French horn players, it's totally true that it's in our kind of current cultural context, the French horn is really underutilized. And
yeah, that's right.
Not really, it's not really much to do with it in the different applications we have outside of a big kind of orchestra, but it's hard to get into, and there's like everyone wants to be in, or like maybe doing film music. Is the rebellion?
Oh,
we were
right.
using the music in which that was kind of replacing the French horn to kind of get back at the people. I don't know. It's kind of a weird.
It's a weird thing. It's like a paradox, kind of.
It's a paradoxal.
It's like a French horn player. It's like all these people who are producers, like doing music, like with electronics, and they're taking all the jobs from like old musicians, like French horn players and clarinet players and oboe players.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's just that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, we want to express ourselves.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that when Robert found himself studying 6 hours a day with the horn, and then he spent a summer intern with me, and I was doing a lot of computer music and stuff on the computers, and I was doing jobs and stuff, and all the jobs that I was getting, I would just do all the music on the computer because there wasn't any funds or time to get musicians in. So he was thinking, coming into this internship, that he'd be doing a lot of French horn playing, but he did nothing. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure night. Yeah. You basically do whatever you want at any time. For us, what we want to do is create a beginning, middle, and end to our show, kind of like a story, but very ambiguously done. And I think it's because I miss that in a lot of live music. I miss a continuity of like, okay, we're starting it. I mean, yeah, they'll put songs together that have a certain flow, but I think what we're trying to do is create an arc, a story. There's something drama going on. Something is there's an interest, like a thread of interest.
But it actually, what happens, it's so funny because I feel like when we play, almost more people go crazier, like almost always go more crazy than they do for the DJs, because what we do is we try to put them on like a very big roller coaster. Like we start here and we try to bring them really low and then bring them really high.
Okay.
But it's about playing with your expectations, because you don't always expect, like in the middle of a set, for someone to ask you to dance like an animal, or for someone to, I don't know, steal a keyboard, or for someone to take a Nerf gun and shoot somebody, and then all of a sudden there's blood.
We did that once. We had a drummer and then we shot him. That was it.
Because you don't need a drummer.
You don't need a drummer.
So, which is funny, when I got this,
it was really appropriate though that we did it during the show.
Yeah. I got this really
we couldn't shoot him like somewhere else. We couldn't tell him that we didn't want to say to him that we didn't want him in the band anymore. So we just shot him on stage.
But I think violence is very scary, because I just had recently a very violent act, and I saw my bone. I had this, I think I was telling you, a cut. I saw my bone, and it really wasn't like that big of a deal or anything. But then after a while, then all the blood and everything, and it was just like this cut, right? It was a really deep cut, and like it was just on my hand, and I was like, wow. It's like, what if you really get shot? Like, I mean, I've never gotten shot.
That's true.
But we do some things, and I think violence is interesting in that way, because you get desensitized to it with everything that's going on,
like Nerf guns.
And then you don't realize when something actually happens to you. And I mean, after a while, then it started really hurting. And at first, the shock of it happened. There's a lot of blood.
Yeah, you can see his bone. You want to see his stitches?
It's just a little hand,
Yeah,
just a little bit. It was really lucky that I didn't get a tendon cut off or something, because it happens. You want to see it? It's not
so
very,
gross.
it's not actually okay. It's not good. It's PG-13 R.
At least R.
At least R. But this is real. It's probably past that.
This guy.
His particular show was directly in tune with a lot of the aesthetics that we were working on as well, and it was really remarkable how the whole thing came together like that. I'm not sure if you're aware, but he used like Bambi,
cartoons and everything,
and Renaissance art, and castles and UFOs, and we were really into like his history and development of history, and then our development of our own history, and you know, growing up with like watching things like Bambi and stuff like that, and how that affects you. And, you know.
A special set for the show. Well,
it was only a few songs because the whole thing lasted like 17 minutes.
Very short.
All right.
So we went into his office a couple days before, and then we talked with him about what he wants in the music. And we didn't know what he wanted, so we sent him some set lists not knowing. And then we went to his studio and we saw the art and we saw the fashion.
Jean-Charles, I don't know if it's going to work. It's you know, we need something that's the tempo. It needs to be, you know. And then we're like, yes, you're right. You're totally right. And then we like crafted a set together for the show. The collaboration for that was really, really fun because it was so quick, and like it all came together when we were together in the room, you know.
So it was a collaboration of what we did. We just went through some bunch of songs that we have.
Yeah. So
he kind of gave us an idea about what he was going to do with the show, and then after that, after he told us his idea, it was pretty quick. We just kind of
it was pretty clear,
It's pretty clear what to do,
and it was. Pretty much all about, because we were like the background piece, you know. We weren't, which is different than normal shows. It's kind of a weird show because we're the real foreground stuff is the clothes and the models and stuff. So like we really needed to give them a pedestal to stand on, you know, sound wise. So it was really important that our rhythm was like consistent and it was pushing and it wasn't being boring. It wasn't too repetitive, you know. So. That's what was the challenge, to keep everything in the same rhythm, because all the tracks are on different rhythms, but we were able to, you know, beat match that together.
I think that it's funny because I think when we started the group, we never ever thought about fashion.
Say I.
I never, like I was a French horn player. Like French horn players wear tuxedos. That's all they wear.
It's funny.
There's no fashion involved. It's just very.
Well, that is fashion. I mean, it's high fashion.
It's the style.
But a certain style. You know, I think but that's what you just said though. You didn't think about it because someone else told you, but someone thought about it along the line and said, hey, the musician. I think that they all go hand in hand, and I think you can't have one without the other. I mean, think about it. Are you going to just go on the stage naked? I mean, even that I guess is a fashion statement, you know. And either way, you're going to have whatever we do, and however we like hold ourselves, you know, like just wearing a jacket, you know, like all of a sudden, oh, he wears jackets, you know. Music, the style of the music is it has immediate visuals to people who work in the fashion or who work as a visual artist. So they're gonna have ideas, or they'll think when they hear a song how they'll envision how a certain like group of clothes may fit together with the music. And it was funny because Jean-Charles actually said that to me as we were in rehearsal, and we were finally put the music, and people were walking with them, and he's like, my vision has been realized. You know, he said like his vision, and he said his vision. You know, it's not art. I mean, it was
we're contributed.
Yeah, you contributed.
But I think that's what the thing is that he heard our track first through Kitsune. When he was at that show, we did the Kitsune release party of the Kitsune 8.
Yeah.
And he was at that show, and that's where he saw us, and he must have visualized that the music that we were playing would work, you know, with his stuff, and I think it did.